Do you want to know about the top 5 safest neighborhoods in Seattle? Well, stay tuned because this video, we're going to talk about just that. Hey everybody, my name is Tova Williamson and I am a local real estate agent here in the Seattle metro area. I shoot tons of videos of what it's like to live in the area. So if those are videos you want more of, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, click that bell so you'll be notified every time a new video comes on. So we love hearing from you. We get reach outs every day from people wanting to move to the area. We love hearing from you, but we can't help unless you give us a call. So call, email, text, whatever you got to do, because we got your back when you're moving to Seattle. Okay, so today we're going to talk about the top 5 safest neighborhoods in Seattle. The list that I'm going to talk about is based on an article from homesnacks.com. So they compile like all of the data from police reports and different things, and that's where they come up with their list. So this is the list that they have that I am going to talk about. Before we get too deep into that, though, I just want to share this page. This is on Seattle.gov's website. This is the police department section of the website, and they list, this is a really great tool if you're really worried about like crime stats and just knowing where the safe areas are. You can go to this website and this will list every like different crimes in the areas and give you information on all of the areas. You can compare like years. So here I have like 2022 compared to 2021. And it just lists all the different types of crime, like violent crime versus property crime. And then you can just break it down by different neighborhood and area. So if you click on like certain ones, I mean, like this was the darker blue, which has like higher crime rates. You can see what's going on there. So it's just a good tool. It's something that I always recommend people to look at if that's something that you're worried about as far as crime rates and different neighborhoods. That helps, and that helps to break it down, and it just gives you like the raw numbers. And instead of just people's opinions and what they think and certain things, like this just gives you like raw actual data of what's going on in those areas. So to our list, we've got the top 5 safest areas in Seattle, according to homesnacks.com. So number 1 is Hawthorne Hills. I will show you on a map here where that is. Their violent crime per 100,000 people is 23. So that means like 23 people out of 100,000 have been impacted by violent crime. Property crime per 100,000 is 1273, so 1,273. So property crime is definitely higher. That's just kind of Seattle across the board, is the property crime tends to be higher than violent crime. So that's just what we see in Seattle in general. So Hawthorne Hills, this area, it's this weird kind of like tiny little like micro neighborhood right here in Northeast Seattle. It borders Windermere and Bryant. And it's mostly just single family homes. There's not a lot happening in this neighborhood because it's just like such this small little like area. It's up on a hill more, so you can get like really nice views of Lake Washington right here, but it does border like Bryant. Windermere is a very affluent neighborhood. There's like some huge houses along here, water views, waterfront homes. And then Bryant to the west is kind of a more like family suburban style neighborhood, really charming, really cute. The schools here are like super desirable. So this is an area where like schools are regarded very well. People are really like want to get into some of these school districts. Hawthorne Hills, not a ton happening here. You'll just have to go out to other areas. You've got Magnuson Park up here to like the northeast. It's a huge park. It's really nice. Like there's beach access. There's a huge dog park. They do like movies in the summer, like outdoor movies here. So it's just kind of cool. It's a nice area to be close to because it's just this really big park and you can kind of walk along, and there's a lot going on there. So that's kind of fun. This neighborhood also is close to like UW down here, close to Seattle Children's Hospital. So if you're like wanting to be close to UW or like, for jobs or anything, that could be a good neighborhood. You've got U Village, which is right here, which is like a big kind of like outdoor shopping mall thing. But there's just a ton of like restaurants and different things in here too. So that's kind of, I think, your main like spot that you would probably go to for dining out and stuff if you're in Hawthorne Hills. So that's number one, Hawthorne Hills. So number two is Blue Ridge. So that's an area, it's kind of like this weird little neighborhood. It's paired in with North Beach here, but it's on the western, like northwestern part of Seattle. North Beach is really, or I'm sorry, Blue Ridge is really just like this HOA community within North Beach. So I think that's why it has such like high ratings for that, because there's just not much going on. It's just like the HOA association. It's like this really like kind of exclusive community in there. So kind of, I don't even know if I would consider it an actual neighborhood of Seattle, but it was on their list. So Blue Ridge is mostly consists of single family homes. There's a lot of walking trails. You can like get down to the beaches from here. You've got Golden Gardens Park down here, which is right on the water, which is really nice. They've got another off-leash area. Then up north here, you've got Carkeek Park, which is a nice big park. So Blue Ridge is kind of one of those. It's very small, not a ton of houses there. It's like one of the safer neighborhoods of Seattle. So that's number two is Blue Ridge. And for their violent crime ratings, they're looking at 90 out of 100,000. And then property crime is 1706 out of 100,000. So a little higher property crime, slightly higher violent crime than Hawthorne Hills, but they've got pretty good numbers there. So number three is Matthews Beach. So that's back over to the east side of Seattle. A lot of them are just like back and forth between east and west, but we've got Matthews Beach Park right here. So Matthews Beach is kind of like this general area. They're still fairly close to Magnuson Park. You've got the Matthews Beach State Park. Here, it's mostly all single family homes around here. But you've got like good beach access around here. There's a lot of hills, so you can get some nice view properties here. There's the Burt Gilman Trail, which I think that's what this little green line is, all up here. So it's a really good trail for biking, walking. Then you don't have to deal with like traffic and all of that. So it's kind of nice if you're into biking. You can use this Burt Gilman Trail. It like goes all the way down. I think it goes even through here. But either way, it goes like all the way down into like the Fremont areas where you can catch it. So if you use your bike and like want to commute that way and you're working in some of these areas up here, like UW, or even then you can like take normal streets downtown. But the Burt Gilman Trail is like a really nice trail to be able to ride your bike and walk on. And then it does go all the way up here. You can take it all along the north part of Lake Washington, and it curves around here, goes through Lake Forest Park, and then it kind of turns into, this is the Sammamish River. So then it turns into like the Sammamish River Trail. But it's really cool. Like you can ride your bike and it's a very nice, like peaceful trail. You can go all the way over to like the east side and stuff too. So that's the nice thing about Matthews Beach, is you're connected through that Burt Gilman Trail. Their violent crime is 85 out of 100,000 people. And then property crime is 1859 out of 100,000. So again, just a little higher, but still a relatively safe area. So that's number three, Matthews Beach. Number four, we're going back over to the west side, is North Beach. So, this list for whatever reason has Blue Ridge and North Beach as separate areas, but North Beach just encompasses a larger area. It's a lot bigger. It's a nice, like quiet neighborhood for the most part. Not a lot of sidewalks up here, just something to keep in mind. So if you're like walking along the streets, a lot of these areas don't have sidewalks compared to some of the other areas. Like Matthews Beach doesn't really either, but Hawthorne Hills is going to have like more sidewalks for you. But again, with North Beach, it's a nice larger community. There's a lot of mostly single family homes here. You'll see a lot of like mid-century style homes. Some have been fixed up, some are still kind of original that you could fix up, but nice area. Again, you're close to Golden Gardens Park. And then you've got the Carkeek Park up north. For around here, I mean, there's not a ton of like restaurants or food up in North Beach, but it's pretty close to Crown Hill over here, where there's quite a bit of grocery stores and different stores. And then you're still fairly close to like Ballard down here, which there's like a lot more happening down there and like nightlife and certain things. So it's one of those areas where it's kind of like quiet, nice, tucked out of the way from all of like the hubbub of Ballard, but still close enough to get to things. One thing too, the Swanson's nursery, if you're into like gardening and planting, this is like this huge nursery that's really cool that is close by, that's always worth checking out. So for crime ratings in North Beach, violent crime is at 135 out of 100,000 people, and then property crime is 1661. So again, not as much property crime as some of the other areas, but the violent crime creeps up a little bit in that area. But I mean, all of these areas honestly are still, I think, relatively safe. I would not worry too much about any of these areas. So that was number 4, North Beach. And then number 5, the final one is Broadmoor. So that takes us out of this like northern area of Seattle, and it's down in this area within Madison Park. Again, it's like one of these weird areas. It's like an exclusive gated community right here that's just got like huge nice houses in it, and I think that's again why it's like so rated so highly, because it's just like this gated community. So their ratings are 35 out of every 100,000 people for violent crime, which is not very high. Property crime is a little bit higher, 2026. So of all of those ones, it is kind of the highest in property crime, which is interesting because it's like a gated community. So I don't know if people like seek it out because they know it is like nicer, but yeah, I mean, again, though, still relatively safe. But same thing with Broadmoor. There's not as much going on here. It's mostly just houses and single family houses. Like there's not anything to do in here as far as like restaurants and stuff, but you're really close to Madison Park, which there's a lot of stuff around here. You have Madison Beach Park, which is a nice little area to go swimming, and then you can just hop on Madison right here and like kind of be really connected to the rest of the city too pretty easily. So it's one of those areas that's kind of like its own little like alcove, but then it's still really close to things. And then it's like tucked within this Washington Park Arboretum, which is really, really cool and pretty. There's all these different walking trails around here. Yeah, the Japanese gardens, which are really cool, especially in the fall when the leaves are changing, and in the spring when like things are blooming. This is just like an awesome place to go walk out. But you can see just different things here. So that's what makes this area really cool, is that it's just like all like nice and like cozied into the Arboretum. But so this area is very nice, very kind of like not super exciting, but again, you can just kind of like pop on out here into reality kind of and get back into like the city and different things that are happening. So that's what we've got for the top 5 safest neighborhoods in Seattle. We've got Hawthorne Hills, Blue Ridge, Matthews Beach, North Park, and Broadmoor. So top 5 safest neighborhoods in Seattle. Moving to Seattle can be tough, especially if you don't know the area and you just don't know the certain things to look out for. So that's why we want you to give us a call. We love helping you. We love helping you navigate the area, but we can't help unless you call. So give us a call, email, text. We got your back when you're moving to Seattle.